Officially known as the National Monument to Vittorio Emmanuel II, the enormous white marble monument that dominates Piazza Venezia was built as a tribute to the first king of a united Italy, Vittorio Emmanuel II. The new monument and national symbol of Italy was inaugurated in 1911 at the 50th anniversary of the kingdom. The monument to Vittorio Emmanuel II, also known as Il Vittoriano and sometimes also referred to as the Altar of the Nation, is decorated with numerous allegorical statues, reliefs and murals created by artists from all corners of the country. At the center of the monument is the colossal equestrian statue of Vittorio Emmanuel, the father of the nation. The statue, the work of sculptor Enrico Chiaradia, weighs 50 tons and measures 12 meters tall. It rests on a pedestal decorated with allegorical reliefs representing Italian cities. At the foot of the statue is the tomb of the unknown soldier, inaugurated in 1921. Guards of honor selected from the Marine, Infantry and Air Divisions stand on guard here day and night. The upper section of the monument consists of a massive curved colonnade with 15-meter-tall columns, framed on either side by small temple-like wings with a classical front. Two bronze quadrigae crown the monument, each with a statue of a winged victory. The quadriga on the right represents freedom, while the one on the left represents unity. They were added in 1927, 16 years after the monument was inaugurated. In view one of the two fountains, allegorical representations of the two seas that border Italy, the Adriatic and the Tyrrhenian seas. The Vittorio Emmanuel monument is not exactly known as one of Rome's most beautiful structures. It is considered too monumental, and the bright white color does not fit well into the ochre color of its surroundings. The monument has been given nicknames such as typewriter and wedding cake. St. Peter in Chains is a Roman Catholic titular church and minor basilica in Rome, best known for being the home of Michelangelo's statue of Moses, part of the tomb of Pope Julius II. Flanking the nave are two rows of 10 massive Doric columns. Frescoes by Giacomo Coppi, 1577, in the raised tribune. The nave has an 18th century coffered ceiling, frescoed in the center by Giovanni Battista Parodi, portraying the miracle of the chains, 1706. In the 5th century, Juvenal, the bishop of Jerusalem, gave the chains that possibly held St. Peter while he was imprisoned in Jerusalem to Eudocia's mother, who sent them to her daughter in Rome. Eudocia, wife of Emperor Valentinian III, then gave the chains as a present to Pope Leo I, who placed them in this church together with the chains that had held St. Peter while he was in the Mamertine prison in Rome. According to a medieval legend, the two chains then miraculously joined together. The chains are now prominently displayed in a beautiful golden reliquary. Most people visit the church to see the tomb of Giuliano della Rovere, who in 1503 became Pope Julius II. In 1505, the Pope asked Michelangelo to come to Rome to work on his tomb. He intended the monument to be placed right under the dome of the new St. Peters Basilica. Michelangelo designed a huge monument with 40 statues. He went to Florence to select the best blocks of Carrara marble and started sculpting. But in 1508, the Pope's attention turned to the decoration of the Sistine Chapel, and he wanted Michelangelo to paint the ceiling of the chapel. Michelangelo then created his famous ceiling painting. Shortly after this work was completed, Julius II died, and his successors commissioned Michelangelo with other tasks. By the time Michelangelo died in 1564, only the statues of Moses, Leah, Rachel, and 2 dying slaves were completed. Now the statue of Moses takes a central position. He is flanked by Leah and Rachel, both created in the latter years of Michelangelo's life. The statues above Moses were created by Michelangelo's students. The lying figure of Julius II, however, might also be the master's own work. Experts are still divided. The tomb of Cardinal Cinzio Passeri Aldobrandini, decorated with imagery of the Grim Reaper. Tomb of Cardinal Vecchiarelli with floors of inlaid polychrome marble and 2 columns of Porta Santa marble. The Church of San Gregorio de la Divina Pietad is also known as San Gregorio a Ponte Quattro Capi due to its proximity to the bridge of that name, or San Gregorieto due to its small size. The church, located at the Piazza Jerusalem, north of Tiber Island, has a very ancient origin, but the first document citing it stems only from the 12th century. Until 1870, the Pope required the Jews living in the nearby ghetto to attend compulsory sermons every Sabbath in front of the church, which faced 2 gates of the Jewish quarter. But they avoided hearing them by putting wax in their ears. Because of this, during a restoration in 1858, a bilingual Hebrew and Latin inscription with a passage from the Old Testament book of Isaiah, in which the Lord complains about the obstinacy of the Jews, was put on the facade. The Fabricius Bridge, or Ponte dei Quattro Capi, is the oldest Roman bridge in Rome, still existing in its original state. Built in 62 BC, it spans half of the Tiber River, from the Campus Martius on the east side to Tiber Island. Quattro Capi, 4 heads, refers to the 2 marble pillars of the 2-faced Janus Hermes on the parapet. The Tiber Island is one of the 2 islands in the Tiber River which runs through Rome. The other, much larger one, is called Isola Sacra and is near the mouth of the river at Ostia. Tiber Island is located in the southern bend of the Tiber. The island is boat-shaped, approximately 270 meters long and 67 meters wide, and has been connected with bridges to both sides of the river since antiquity. Being a seat of the ancient temple of Asclepius and later a hospital, the island is associated with medicine and healing.